Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to Lineup Predictions here at the Magpie Channel TV. Before I get started, just pop in the comments if you can hear us. If you tuned in last week, you'll know that the disaster that I was rambling on for about a minute before I realised that the mic was on mute. So if anyone would just like to pop in the comments so that they can hear us, that would be absolutely lovely. Because it's not very good when you're halfway through your speech and then you find out that no one can hear you. Cracking. There we are. Hello, everyone. Jake's in the comments. Hello, Harry. Hello, everyone. Right, lovely stuff. Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to Lineup Predictions here on the Magpie Channel TV / match preview. Aston Villa away, Villa Park, 3 p.m. tomorrow, which is Saturday, in case you're watching it later. 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff. Seems like it's been ages since we've had one of them. Like, we're back in business now. Last season, kickoffs were just all over the place. Obviously, every game was arranged for television, which I kind of missed, to be honest. Like those games on like 4 games on a Saturday, 3-4 on a Sunday. What a time to be alive. But the shitty thing was we couldn't be there. I was at the game on Sunday. I wasn't Saturday yet. It was Sunday. First game of the season at home to West Ham United. What a tale of two halves that was. It's not on TV, Jake, with it being a 3 o'clock kickoff. We're back to normal now. Let's put that up there so I'm not just pretending that I'm talking to people. Jake in the comments, is it on TV? No, it's not, because of, obviously, let's say, like, it's back to the way it used to be. The regular times, Saturday games, there'll be a 12:30 and a 5:30 on Sky Sports and BT, with a handful of 3 o'clock kickoffs, which aren't televised. But me and Renty will be doing a watch along. We'll be here. Maybe a special guest from Rubenstein as well. So come back and tune into the watch along if you can't get it on the TV. So, yeah, Saturday's game. Mamma mia. Hello, Callum Lewis. Right, I'm going to turn the comments off for a second just so I can concentrate on what I'm saying. Then I'll come back to you a lot later. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yes, Sunday, shit show. First half, amazing. First competitive game I've been to at St. James's since the start of March 2020. Almost a year and a half I've seen a competitive fixture at St. James's. Just the week before, the last pre-season game at home to Norwich. That was the first time I've been in St. James's Park in nearly a year and a half. And honestly, it got a little emotional, to be fair, like walking out and seeing a full crowd, not just 10,000, not just 30,000. That was 50,000, 50,500 people at St. James's Park on Sunday. When the players come out, seeing the crowd, singing and chanting, celebrating 2 goals in the first half, it was amazing. It was like the perfect return against a good West Ham side as well. Saint-Maximin dazzling the crowd. Callum Wilson scoring his first goal in front of a St. James's Park crowd, wearing the number 9 shirt. It was perfect. Half time. Beautiful. Couldn't really ask for more. Second half, though, absolute self-destruct embarrassment. Defensively, shocking. Steve Bruce, no clue. Again, just reverted back to last season. It was an absolute shambles. But thankfully, Aston Villa didn't really get off to much of a better start. They entertained Watford away to Vicarage Road. A surprising 3-2 defeat there. I'm sure they were 3-0 down as well. Like, I actually rate Villa this season. They've lost their main man in Grealish, but they've replaced them. They've spent that money well. Buendia, great signing. Experience in Ashley Young. Leon Bailey, great player. Young talent in Axel Tuanzebe. And Danny Ings. Apart from Callum Wilson, before we signed Callum Wilson, Danny Ings was the one I wanted. Like, I'll admit, Callum Wilson was my second choice. But the way he was with Southampton, obviously, he got like 22 goals or something the season before last. There was no chance we were going to get him on our budget. Wilson was the more realistic one, having gotten relegated with Bournemouth, 20 million, and we got him. And I'm not upset by it. Callum Wilson's obviously a hero up here now, got the number 9 shirt now. So yeah, when all said and done, that was good business. But yeah, I really fancy Aston Villa this season. You can maybe put the first game down at Watford as just one of them things at the start of the season, just sludge. They haven't really getting into it yet. Like I said, they've got a handful of new signings, lost their leader, their best player, their captain. So it's probably a work in progress at Aston Villa that I'm pretty sure is going to sort itself out pretty soon. I still expect big things despite that hurdle in the first game of the season. I'm sure they'll be disappointed by it, but I'm sure they'll get by it. So it's going to be a tricky outing. I was just looking at it before. Our record at Villa Park is lifting. we've won one game since a win in the 2005-2006 season. Goals from Shola Amiobi and Charles Zogbia won that game. And then it's loss, draw, win. The last win being the 2012-2013 season. Goals from Papi Cisse and Johan Cabai. Oh, wait, no, sorry. We won one afterwards. Sorry, that was two there. The last game was Ben Arthur and Gouffran with the goals. And then since then, draw in the Championship, loss in the Premier League. 2-0 defeat there last season. It was 1-1 at St. James's. Late drama. Lascelles coming up with like 94th minute equaliser, I think. But yeah, we haven't got a great record against Villa, either home or away, really, especially away. So yeah, I'm expecting a really hard game. Get into some injury news there then. And Freddie Woodman has been confirmed to start again, as he did last week, Premier League debut. And I'm not even upset with Freddie Woodman. First game, I thought he'd done brilliantly. Had a great save in the first half. Was a Jared Bowen ripped through to the defence, like a Giggsy run from halfway, and a good effort on target, well saved by Woodman. And of course, the penalty from Mikel Antonio, couldn't really do nothing about the rebound. Thomas Souček coming in to putting that one away. So yeah, I think it was a good performance from Woodman. Of course, he's going to be disappointed. He conceded 4 goals at home on his Premier League debut. So, but the news is that Dubravka, the injury that he had is getting infected. I don't even know how that's possible. Premier League physios, all the best care and attention, and his injury's infected. So that's set him back for a further few weeks. Darlow still hasn't recovered from COVID. They're both a long way off. So Freddie Woodman looks like he's going to be the number one for the foreseeable. Brucey hasn't put a time scale on, but the Dubravka one sounds bad. If that injury's infected, God knows what that even means. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, Darlow seems to be really struggling. I think he took a bit of a setback as well in his road to recovery. So yeah, Freddie Woodman for the foreseeable. John Joe Shelvey. He is the big news from today, who will be missing that game tomorrow at Aston Villa. Again, Brucey just talks absolute plushkin, absolute shit. He says, during pre-season, he had an injury to his calf. But this isn't that calf, it's the other calf. He said, sod's law, it's not even that calf, it's the other one. So mentioning the other one's absolutely irrelevant, as it wasn't that injury in the first place. So yeah, John Joe Shelvey's going to be out. No time frame on that. It might not be too much of a bad one, but yeah, it's definitely going to be out for Saturday's game. Paul Dummett is on the road to recovery. He's back in training now. He missed last week's game with an injury that he picked up in the friendly game against Rotherham. Bruce says he's not too far away. They might look into trying getting him some minutes at Burnley at home in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, but that may be a little bit too soon. So maybe Southampton at home the weekend after, next weekend. Elliot Anderson is one who has been out for a little while with an injury. The end of last season, didn't really get much game time. Hasn't established himself really in the first team squad. He has been given more of a first team squad number. He's traded the 57 youth number for a 32. So yeah, a little bit progression in Elliot Anderson's future, I think, there with the squad number update. But yeah, progression on his injury as well. Brucey says he should be over the worst of it. He just had to rest. That's what he's had to really do. He's just had to rest that injury. Bruce says he's looking all right. So don't know when he'll be back, but let's say he's not really established himself in the first team anyway. So I wouldn't really worry too much about any updates on Elliot Anderson. But one update we can bring you is that Joe Willock is in line to make his debut. Will it be from the start? We'll get to that in the lineup. Give us a second with that one. But Bruce said he would love to give him more minutes. Obviously, he just came in the other day. Just was a Friday. Yeah, Friday came in a week ago today. He made the official signing. But he's only really had a couple of training sessions under his belt. And he didn't really get much game time in pre-season with Arsenal either. So Bruce says he wishes he could have more minutes under his belt, but he's naturally fit young lad. In fact, he's 22 today. Happy birthday, Joe Willock, 22 years old. He says he's a naturally fit young lad. So any lack of game time shouldn't be a problem for him, and he'll definitely be involved, but he didn't confirm whether it would be from the start or from the bench. However, thinking back to when he came in on loan in January, he didn't have a lot of game time for Arsenal at the start of that season. And in my lineup prediction for that game, it was Southampton at home. I tipped him to be on the bench because, again, he only had a couple of training sessions, 2, maybe 3 at the most. So, yeah, I didn't expect him to go straight in that starting lineup. My lineup prediction had him to be on the bench. But he did start, and he got a goal within the first 10 minutes of his debut at St. James's Park, which was great to see. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that one. Depends what Brucey wants to do with him. I think he should start. He's on a run at the minute of 7 games in a row with a goal, which is a mad record for a centre midfielder, young centre midfielder like him. If he can score on Saturday and make it 8 in a row, he's going to be in a pristine list of players who's done that. I think there's only been 4 players in Premier League history that have goals 8 games in a row. So look out for that one. Hopefully, he can be back on the score sheet on his full debut as a permanent signing for the Magpies. That is Newcastle's team news. I'm going to bring you Aston Villa's quickly. There's not really much to talk about. Then I'm going to jump in the comments, see what you guys are saying. So get them in now before I get there, and then we'll look into the prediction. So Ollie Watkins, he remains out. He missed the trip to Watford on Saturday. Big player, Ollie Watkins. He caused us a nightmare last season. Big fan of him. I think he's really, really good. So it's good to see him out. And Bertrand Traore, he ripped us apart. Was that at Villa Park as well? Like, I think them two probably were the best players at Villa Park last season. Bertrand Traore got a goal just outside of the box, one on the edge of the box, a great strike. They're both out, so that's good news as far as I'm concerned. 2 players I rate highly aren't available, but Danny Ings, who got a goal on his debut, will be. Leon Bailey came on from the bench against Watford, and you've got Buendia there and Ashley Young, so they've got plenty of players that they can replace them with. A deep squad. Let's say I'm a big fan of Aston Villa at the minute. I think their squad's brilliant, even without Jack Grealish. So we'll see what they've got to bring on Saturday. I'm sure they'll be looking to right their wrongs from their defeat at Watford. First home game of the season. So, yeah, look out for that. We'll get into a score prediction towards the end of the video. Have them come in during the video. Let me see what you're saying. I'll tell you my thoughts at the end. Right, we'll have a look who we've got. Yes, Callum Wilson's in the space. Jake, yes, come back for the watch along. We'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, Wilson over Ings. I would agree. He's in that black and white shirt, that number 9. He hasn't even got the number 9 shirt at Villa. So, give Willock back. Just realised. Lungberg Camp. I like that name. Mixture. 2 legends. Guna legends. But no, you're not having them back. Your club sold them, so you can jog on. Happy Friday, Mara, David McDonald. Hello, good to see you, mate. Lungberg Camp's coming back in with a Willock crack. Sold Willock to you for half the price you paid for Joe on. We did. That's class. Literally 40 million to, 25 million in extras. I think it was 20 up front. I think it was, according to reports, 20 million up front with 5 million add-ons. Woodman was good, but our defense didn't help. Absolutely. Our defense was shocking. I'm going to go into it in prediction because, heads up, I'm doing kind of more what I would prefer to see than what I expect. Usually I kind of put myself in Brucey's shoes and tell you what I honestly think the team will be, more to what I think it's going to be. But yeah, this one coming up, it's more of a fingers crossed kind of hopeful scenario because there's a couple of defenders that didn't impress me in the slightest. So I'm making a little bit of a change. Whether Brucey does or not, I don't know. Is Wilson fit? Supposedly missed. Not as far as I'm aware. The reports that I've seen that he's fine. Like I said, the only ones missing are Dubravka Darlow, Shelby and Dummett and Elliot Anderson. They're the only ones excluded. Joe Willock didn't make the deadline last week, but he is available for this week. So as far as Wilson's aware, I'm pretty sure he's fit yet. I've stopped with a pre-match interview with. Oh mate, I've never listened to Steve Bruce honestly. Like, especially last season, doing like watch-alongs and stuff. We're busy during the pre and post-match interview, so I don't watch them. Even if we weren't recording, I wouldn't watch them anyway. I can't be asked listening to him talk shit. Arsenal lost 2-0 at Brentford as well. That was great to see. Well done, Brentford. I hope they have a good season. How's Renty? Thanks for asking. Yeah, he's much better. He should be in the watch along tomorrow. He tried last week, bless him, but he was just so ill. Like that's one of the things. Oh no, my tea's getting cold, and I've just seen some dust flying out. That's not good. Mitch. Yeah, Renty's on the mend. yeah, watch along tomorrow should be fine. Like I say, he tried last week, but just when you're talking when COVID's absolutely knacking your respiratory system, and I was at the game, so he was trying to do the watch along by himself, like 2 hours live talking. I think it lasted about 10, 15 minutes and had to throw in the white towel. So yeah, but yeah, he's on the mend. Thanks for asking. I'll send on me your thoughts towards him, and yeah, he should be fine. Did you listen to Bruce on BBC Newcastle? No, I didn't, because I've got better things to do with my time. Not feeling optimistic with no. Well, where's Wilson? Where's this come from? I haven't seen anything about Wilson, unless this is new information that's bypassed me. Yeah, without Wilson, I wouldn't be too concerned either. Yeah, Gale was good preseason. Hopefully, he pops up with the goals. I hope he does. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, Wilson should be in. Like Brucey didn't say now. Yeah, I'd agree with that one. Shelby's been so disappointing for me for years. I don't even know how long. Really underperforming, not consistent enough, lazy, lethargic. And yeah, like if Shelby was available, I don't know if Willock would start. I'm slightly more confident that he will now. There's always the chance that fucking Jeff Hendrick or Sean Longstaff could start, but that would be an absolute disaster. But yeah, without Shelby, if he was fit, I think Bruce might start the same with Shelby and Hayden in central midfield and then bring Willock on as a super sub like he liked to do for a portion of when he was on loan last season. Yeah, there was a run of games where Sean Longstaff was starting and Willock was brought on, expected to be the super sub, which he never disappointed. So that's maybe something that we could be doing, but I really, really hope not. With Shelby out, I pray to God it's not Sean Longstaff because he's absolutely lifting backwards and sideways passing all the time. Nah. Or Brucey will probably play Joe Linton. We'll see what happens. But nah, couldn't say it. Wilson missed a training and it was mentioned on BBC Radio Newcastle according to Bruce. No, I didn't say that. I'm just going to quickly look into that one while we're live so I don't have to bring that any further. Nah. Can't say out. No, nothing that I can see. So fingers crossed anyway. If Wilson is a doubt, then yeah, that's a major shit show. So hopefully he's not. Yeah, get better, Renty. Hope he's all right. Yeah, Aaron's not heard out about Wilson either. Right, so that's enough for waffle there. So I've brought you the Newcastle team news, Aston Villa team news. Let's get to what we came for and get into the lineup prediction. Starting with, of course, Freddie Woodman in goal. That's pretty much a given. Brucey's already confirmed that. And the back three, just going to jump straight into that one. Not even going to talk much more about Freddie Woodman. Already gave me opinion on him. Back three, this is the change I want to see made. I think we'll miss Lascelles. I was quite surprised to see that. Kraft was the one that I was surprised at, not so much Kieran Clark. But while I don't know if he just wasn't fully fit, and if he wasn't fully fit, why was he even on the bench in the first place? But I'm not even Lascelles' biggest fan. Like, he's so inconsistent. He can be a good centre back, but I just think leadership. There's not many leaders in this team. Shelby certainly isn't it. He wore the captain's armband for the majority of last season when Lascelles was out. Richie's a great leader. Fernandez wore the captain's armband the other day, but I just think the defense was an absolute shambles. So with Lascelles, I think we're a better outfit. I think he commands the back three a little bit better, or back five, whatever it may be. And yeah, Fernandez keeps his place. Kraft drops out because he was woeful against West Ham, sorry. And so was Kieran Clark. I've got to drop Kieran Clark in my opinion. Like I say, this is my opinion, not me predicted lineup. It's more of a personal lineup. Clark, I think from the Liverpool game towards the end of last season, the one where we drew 1-1, Callum Wilson thought he'd equalised quite late on, but VAR wrongfully ruled it out for handball or offside or whatever the hell that was. And then Joe Willock came up the hero right at the end, a few seconds later, with an actual equaliser. But that game, Clark was abysmal. It's as bad as I've seen him play because he can be so reliable. Like, I think him and Fernandez are two defenders that go under the radar with other fans. Like, unless you're watching Newcastle week in, week out, them two, you probably kind of look at them just like, yeah, bang average to below par defenders when really they're not. Like they come up trumps for us 9 times out of 10. But I think since that Liverpool game, Clark's he hasn't been back to his best. I was at that Norwich game, the last preseason game. He was woeful then. He was getting caught out by Norwich players. That's not good enough. And he was just keep getting caught out at West Ham on Sunday as well. So for me, Clark's got to be dropped, and so has Emil Kraft. Lascelles has got to come back. Whether Shaw plays or not, I don't know. I say just to replace Kraft and Clark. That's why I'm giving Shaw the nod. Do I think that'll happen? Probably not. I think, if I'm being honest, I think Clark will remain with Fernandes and Lascelles. I think Kraft probably will be dropped if Lascelles is fit enough. So that's my thoughts anyway, with the two wing backs, Jacob Murphy and Matt Ritchie. Inconsistencies from both of them on Sunday. I seen Matt Ritchie getting a lot of stick online after the game. And yeah, he was a bit slow, to be fair. It wasn't his best game, but he's the same with like Shelvey and Lascelles. Like, as far as consistency goes, I haven't been convinced on Matt Ritchie for a long, long time. Like, what is important to him, and like I talk about leadership, Ritchie is that. Like, his heart, passion, desire, all of that is exactly what you want from a player for your club. Like, he can be inconsistent every now and then. Like, he does, like in that Norwich game in the preseason, 100% effort, full-blooded tackles, not ducking out because it was a friendly. Great balls down the line, great crosses in. He's got that in the locker, but sometimes he just doesn't deliver it. As a defender, positioning-wise, could be better. And I say he does stick in a crunching tackle, goes in full-blooded, which you love to see. Need funny tackles, need one ducking out of tackles. He's not that kind of guy, and that's the kind of guy you want. But yeah, as far as consistency goes, I'm not 100% convinced. But again, as far as wing-backs go, the only other option is Jamal Lewis. He didn't cover himself in many graces last season. Paul Dummett's not a wing-back, in my opinion. He does okay as a left full-back, but nah, I'm not convinced on Dummett either. So that's what we've got to do, either, really. It's either going to be Dummett, Ritchie, or Lewis. Can't really do any more than that. And Jacob Murphy, I think he had a pretty poor game. Like, he got the goal, which was great to see. Put with 2-1 up. First goal in front of a St. James's Park crowd. Like, he was born a Newcastle fan, so that was great to see as well. But yeah, he didn't have a great game. Like, getting forwards, what he does best. Like, he's not the best defensively. Everyone knows he's a winger. He's not a fullback. He can play that wing back role to a certain standard, but yeah, there's inconsistencies there as well. Wasn't overly convinced with his performance, but I think this formation kind of does work. Like, I've spoke about it in the past. I'm not a huge fan of 5 at the back formations, but I think it's all Bruce has. We tried the 4-3-3 when Graham Jones came in, and I would love to go back to that. I just think Brucey, as the head coach, hasn't really got the bollocks. I think he's just comfortable. So, like, he's a dinosaur. He just does what he knows. I think he's too afraid in this stage of his career to really try new things. That's why I don't really think him and Graham Jones really got on too well when he came in. Graham Jones is younger, fresher, got ideas. But look at the job he done when he initially came in and in the England setup this summer. Took it to our first international final since 1966, and he was part of that setup. So yeah, we can change formation when and if Brucey fancies, but in the short term, I don't think we will. I think we'll be sticking to this formation, and Murphy and Ritchie are probably as consistent and as good as it's going to get at the minute. So into central midfield, and as I mentioned before, I think Isaac Hayden will keep his place, and Joe Willock will be brought back into the starting 11. With Shelvey missing, and like I said before, like Willock, he could have some more minutes under his belt. He could have a couple more training sessions, maybe keep him for either Burnley on Wednesday or Southampton next weekend. But as Brucey says, he's a young lad. He's fresh. He's fit. He's got bags of energy. And when he came in on loan in January, as I said, against Southampton, he only had a couple of training sessions under his belt in that game. And he surprised everyone by getting a starting position in that game, scoring in the first 10 minutes. Skip the bench straight into the starting 11, which I fully expect. Fingers crossed anyway. I hope it's not Sean Longstaff, and I definitely hope it's not Jeff Hendrick. So, yeah, process of elimination. Like, he is the best option we've got at the minute. Like, people have their opinions about Isaac Hayden. I think that's a good dynamic. Hayden sit deep. He is a good defensive midfielder, and Willock in a free role like a number 8, get forward late into the box like he'd done time and time again last season. That's how he gets his goals. So yeah, let it work. Like Murphy and Richie up and down the wings, defend and attack. Hayden sit deep, just protect the back 3, and Willock push forward, get into the box, and get the 8th goal in 8 games. The front 3 that can remain with Wilson up front. Saint-Maximin just does what he likes because he's absolutely beautiful. Miggy Almiron's one who I wouldn't be opposed to changing. Maybe that someone put in the comments before, Joe Linton wouldn't really surprise us, but I'd probably prefer Ryan Fraser. Miggy just disappoints me every so often. Like, he can go through great spells, he can go through bad spells. What annoys me about him, and I've seen time and time again on Sunday, is strength and fear. Like, they come in different scales. Like, he's got knee strength and loads of fear. Like, when he runs at defenders, he seems to just like drift away. Like, he's running away from the goal. He's running away from his defenders. Like, he just looks scared. He just doesn't look confident. Like, he needs to hit the gym, I think. Like, he's got the pace, he's got the energy. He just hasn't always got the end product, and he certainly hasn't got the strength. I think sometimes he's scared to take people on. That's why when he could be running down the channel, he just kind of like drifts out wide and just tries to get away from the defense and tries to wait like for an overlap or for a pass, which I think maybe it's Joe Willock getting forward. That might help him out. We didn't really have that as much on Sunday. Like Shelby was just sitting on his deck chair. Hayden was sitting deep. Like, having someone like Willock to bring an extra option, have the likes of Saint-Maximin and Wilson around him, the fullback, which either flank he's on, either Murphy or Richie. So yeah, so I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Almiron be replaced by Ryan Fraser, but I like Almiron, so we'll stick with him, and I'm sure Brucey does too. So that's thoroughly what I expect. That same front 3 as the other day, which were 2-1 up against West Ham. Let's have a look at more comments. I'd agree with that. That was about Boxing Day, wasn't it? Just around about Christmas time. It was absolutely solid. Carl Darlow, 10 out of 10 performance. Would go for that back 3. We like leadership last week in defense. Yeah, please, do you agree? Put your prediction in. Like I say, this is just my opinion. Any predictions you've got, I'll have a look at it and read it out. Richie in the Championship, beautiful. Yeah, Premier League, bit of a different level, I think. What's Callum saying on Richie? He's never been defensive-minded. He's better getting going forward. He was the only... Yeah, maybe Jetro Willems, he's still available. That number 15 shirt's been freed up by Jamal Lewis. So would anyone be opposed to bringing Jetro Willems in, or would you like someone else? Let me know in the comments. That is 100% Steve Bruce, although Arteta's not doing a very good job. I think Steve Bruce confused Hayden by sticking him. Yeah, probably. I think he ended the game at centre-back, didn't he? Made a few changes, brought Kraft off for Sean Longstaff, and Hayden seemed to be sitting like mega deep, so yeah. I'll show you the last one I've got, which would be the substitutes bench. And again, the Premier League still haven't updated the graphics, so we're still using last year's. Apologies about that. But I have updated the squad numbers. As you can see, last week I gave you the little tip-off that there would be a little squad number change between Dwight Gale and Jamal Lewis. Dwight Gale vacates the number 12 shirt and goes to 34, which he wore about 9 years ago at... Who did he go? Peterborough. He wore the number 34 shirt at Peterborough before going to Crystal Palace. And Jamal Lewis wore the number 12 shirt just before joining Newcastle at Norwich. So Keith, I always call him Keith Gillespie. I can't get Keith Gillespie out of my head. It's Mark Gillespie. Mark Gillespie will be on the bench as the 4th choice goalkeeper, obviously behind Dubravka and Darlow. Kraft and Clark can be dropped to the bench as far as I'm concerned for Lascelles and Shaw. An absence for Manquillo. Manquillo just dips in and out of the squad, but there's never any updates. There was none last week. I've had none this week. I think Manquillo just likes to go on holidays or something, or he just forgets to turn up. I don't know what the crack with Manquillo is, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, he might as well still be out as well. Jamal Lewis is the left wing back option if Richie's not cutting any mustard. Sean Longstaff and Jeff Hendrick, as I say, I hope don't start because just backwards passing, spinning around, side to side, knee progression, knee forward thinking, kind of be asked to be there with them too. Ryan Fraser wouldn't be opposed to say starting the starting lineup for Almiron, although it could be Joe Linton. And if people's reports are right about Callum Wilson, then there might be a start for Dwight Gale. We'll have to keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, Gale's got to be our second choice striker of the season. We haven't really got anyone else with now Carroll leaving the club, Muto's left the club. Everybody knows Joe Linton's not a striker. Yeah, Gale can hit the back of the net, got 2 great goals against Norwich in pre-season. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Dwight Gale. I expect quite a big season from him. So yeah, get your predictions in the comments now, both lineup and score. Hayden smells better sitting in front of the defence, breaking up play when Shelby plays. He pushes forward and Shelby sits deep. Willock offers more getting forward and compliments Hayden. Yeah, thoroughly agreed. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just merchandise. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I think it was a Christmas present, to be honest. It came with matching Johnny Bottoms. They're lovely. Jetro come back. I hope so. I think we're going to do better than Jetro now. Lewis isn't there yet. Lewis has got time. Like I think he's just 23, something like that. Yeah, I'm patient for Jamal Lewis. I think there's a talent there. But yeah, in terms of left backs, anybody else you would like to see? I think we can do better. Like I don't really like going back in the past. Like people keep talking about bringing like Ben Arfa and Cisse and Kabay in that back. Like that era is over. Move on. Like that all in that upper 30s or something now, like mid to late 30s. Like that era's gone. I think we just need to move on, to be honest. But as far as Jetro, I think he's only like 28 or something. Like he's still relatively young. Free transfer to just fill in squad space. Like we might not necessarily need him, but yeah, if he comes back, he comes back. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's one of them things. David says 1-1, possibly nick a win, and I echo those thoughts, David. As I mentioned before, our record at Villa Park, it's not great. Last win, what did I say, was 13-14 when Ben Arfa and Gouffran scored. 2-1 win down there. So what was that, 7 to 8 years ago? Yeah, not a great record. And as I mentioned before, I think Villa's got a very, very good team. First home game of the season, looking to bounce back against the embarrassment, losing to newly promoted Watford. So I think optimistically, very optimistically, I'd say a draw. I'd be quite happy with a draw. A 1-1 result, like David says, I'd be happy with, because I can see we're getting pumped, to be honest. If we play the way we did in that second half against West Ham, that's why I want a defensive change. I want Kraft and Clark out. We need the leadership from Lascelles in. Shard had an inconsistent Euros, but he's just come back off a major European tournament where they got to the quarterfinals they got to. He should be quite high after that. So bring Shard back for me. Get Lascelles back in the team. Slap the captain's armband on him. Get Kraft and Clark out. And yeah, 1-1 I think would be a respectable result. Wilson and Ings goals, that's what I'm going for. The two top boys. 1-1 draw, but either team can take it. Like, I do think Villa are the better team. It wouldn't surprise us if it was more of a 2-1 win to Villa. But yeah, we could nick it either way, as David says. 2-1 either way, but realistically and quite happily go with 1-1. Callum says 2-1 Newcastle. Lewis may need to play in the cup game. That's a good opportunity and a very good shout. Burnley on Wednesday. If we do play a similar team that played on Sunday, like the same team, but like Saint-Maximin, Almiron, and Wilson, Richie Murphy, Fernandez, Hayden. I think we could do with a little bit rotation. I do think we should change things up a little bit. So yeah, that's a very good shout. Kabai's retired now, that's right. But he's still quite young though, isn't he? He's only like 36, 37, which isn't really young in football terms, but to be retired at that age, it's a bit mad when you see the likes of like Zlatan and people like that still going. Aaron says 3-1 Newcastle win. Willock to get 2 goals. I hope you're right. Put a bet on it, because you will be a millionaire. Well, probably not, but you'll do a read off of it. So yeah, how much do you think Saint-Maximin's worth? It's a different thing to what he's worth to what I would take for him. So worth, I would say 50 to 60 million, but we shouldn't be selling him for anything less than 70, in my opinion. Like, get the most out of them. Don't let people walk all over, especially if it's a Premier League rival like Everton. Yeah, like a foreign team could maybe come in and stick a cheeky 50, 60 million bid in. But if it's the likes of Everton, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, someone like that, don't let them take the piss. Put 70 as an absolute minimum. Drag it out with them. If they're willing to pay 80 or whatever, then like just don't give him easy because he's too valuable to us. So yeah, I'd even go as to say he's invaluable. I wouldn't even put a price tag on him. But this is Newcastle United. We're a feeder club for most teams, so got to be realistic. If a team comes in with a good offer, then he'll probably go Flamengo Saint Kennedy. Mamma mia. Andres Pereira, Thiago Mendes. Jesus Christ, Kennedy. Right, so I'm going to leave it there. Gone on for 36 minutes there. So yeah, get your lineup prediction and your score prediction in the comments. I'm going for an optimistic 1-1 draw. My team is there. I'll just flash it on again for you in case you missed it. There it is there. Let me know what you think, guys, and come back tomorrow for the live watch along. We'll be going live just before kickoff, 3 o'clock. We'll see you there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel while you're here, and enjoy yourself.